That's different.
Whoa. Is someone
Hey.
trying to get you started on Nicolas Cage? That's for later in the show. All right, that's coming later. That's coming later.
There's only one actor though that I dislike more than Nicolas Cage.
Is that Tom Cruise?
Big Papa Matt, you have a pretty epic thing to talk about in terms of nerd history that happened in January. I'm super excited about this one because this
man, this is truth. This right here, I want to make sure everybody has tarp down, and hopefully there's dark paint on the walls behind you because I'm going to blow your minds right now. The greatest moment of January in nerd history was the birth of Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage was born January 7th, 1964 in Long Beach, California. Resides currently in Las Vegas, Nevada. He's an actor, director, and producer from 1981 to presently right now. Was first married to Patricia Arquette, Lisa Marie Presley, as well as Alice Kim. But little known fact, an Academy Award, a Golden Globe, and a Screen Actors Guild Award for this man, this amazing thespian of our times.
You know how I know that's a bunch of BS? That's the day Tesla died. So it can be a good day.
It's the greatest day ever.
It can't.
This man was born from the electrical shocks that resonated throughout. That's what was birthed from Tesla's amazing discovery of this coil and electrical power like that.
He was
Nicolas Cage's proof of wireless energy.
I don't know. I don't pay attention to timelines. All right, I'm just letting you know if it happened on that day. That's the reason why it went back in time and struck that man alive. But actually, what I wanted to talk about that was totally for our chat channel because they love Nicolas Cage so much.
We will see you guys next week when we get ready to talk about our first nerd icon of 2018. We don't know who it is yet, but it's coming. We know that Nicolas Cage is in the running, I think. But
Nick Cage.
What you think was the worst casting ever, or what could be the worst casting ever for a film role, and have fun with it.
Michael Cera as Superman.
Nicolas Cage as Superman.
That's not far off, yeah.
Nicolas Cage in anything?
As Tyrion Lannister.
Yeah.
Ooh, Conan O'Brien as Tyrion Lannister.
I know Jack is mentioning that fake remake would be a Nick Cage makes a good movie in the chat.
I just want to make sure we're talking about Nick Cage films right now. So this is all Jack Malice. We can redo a lot of Nick Cage films because he will be willing to do the remake as well. So it'll be perfect.
So what do you think, Big Papa? Remake Ghost Rider? I mean, even if you're a Nick Cage fan, you have to admit that one's a little rough.
Is the message I like tacos?
Paul is dead.
This sounds like the beginning. This totally sounds like the beginning of Big Papa Matt's favorite actor, like a Nick Cage film. Like there's some cipher that's got to be discovered and solved.
It's on the $1 bill.
Be careful, Son of Maku is going to go crazy in the chat room. He loved Ghostbusters.
The original was great.
Oh, he loved the remake too. Jack Malice says worst casting ever done. Nick Cage in every Nick Cage movie ever. We're beating around the bush. We can just say who it is. Everybody knew. This isn't a spoiler.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Wouldn't be a Malice cast if his name didn't get brought up.
No, exactly.
I mean, it's weird how much you guys hate him, but man, is he mentioned? I think he's probably been mentioned on more shows than anyone else.
Any other celebrity?
Anyone else?
Him.
John Barrowman, maybe.
John Barrowman. Yes. You know, hey, you know what? If I can stick through Arrow after they did John Barrowman dirty like that, then I got to give Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. another chance.
There you go.
Which
So,
they're saying in the chat so much better than Nick Cage. And this is Jack Malice.
Hey man, he leaves a wonderful canvas for people to paint on afterwards. I just don't he sets people up for success.
Look,
right?
the way to look at someone and know if they're really good at what they do is if they make others better. And you got to say that Nick Cage makes others look better.
I mean, you're not lying. You're not lying right there.
He's like the LeBron James of movie making.
Big Papa Matt, I got your back here.
Wait. Prydine just said, don't stare into a mirror and say Nick Cage 3 times.
Hey, say what all y'all want, but I have never heard anybody talk smack about the man who raised Hit Girl. I'm just saying.
Once again,
Mhm.
Big Daddy.
I'll give it to you on
Mhm.
that one. Yeah.
That was your Nick Cage moment. Helping us all, set us all up for success right there.
Put the bunny back in the box.
The chat room is trying really hard to get us to say the name of the actor that we have said the name on almost every cast, and I'm trying to
Nick Cage.
refuse.
Yeah,
no,
we're talking about Nick Cage and the Ghost Rider. So
one episode.
I am on this show. Are you kidding me right now? Did you really think Nick Cage is not going to get brought up?
One episode without saying his name.
Just look into a mirror and say it 2 more times.
Maybe we should hashtag him and see what happens.
It's Nick Cage live, Malice. Yeah, Malice cast live. All things Nick Cage is what our cast is going to become here. And then we got Duran Duran going on in the chat room now. So
I have this picture that Nick Cage just spends his time at home, like just reading, making sure everything's properly dusted. You know, just
He's definitely not fixing his hairline.
we now know that if we get a movie written and directed by Guillermo del Toro starring Nick Cage and John Hamm, Big Papa Matt will just explode.
The nerdgasm that would occur in the Bay Area would be bigger on the Richter scale than anything they've seen out here.
dude, Mess, just think about the sentence you just said. I would be like running screaming
and
at
half
the
of this
myself.
yeah, half of this chat room or more of it was going to agree with me on that. So
No.
okay, take it easy over there, rebels.
Nothing wrong with Rebels. Hell of a lot better than anything Nick Cage has put out in the last 25 years. Wait, since Raising Arizona.
Raising Arizona's fantastic.
Yeah, that's the last thing he put out that was good.
No,
Hey.
not at all.
He still won an Academy Award for Lost in Vegas or Leaving Las
Leaving
Vegas,
Las
which
Vegas.
he did actually. That was once
All right,
again
I'll give him that one. I'll give him that one.
another great story that makes you feel terrible after watching it, but the acting was phenomenal. I can't put anything against him in that. So
Thank you, Beacon. I agree. Thank you, B.
What'd he say? What'd he say?
Maku for president.
Oh God.
I'm looking forward to Mom and Dad. How about you, Big Papa?
Oh, yeah, I already saw it. It's fantastic.
Nice.
So
I'm so glad.
Molly Boss is better than Nick.
Somebody had to mention Nick Cage at some point.
Yep, it was bound to happen.
And yes, Jack, absolutely. There's not enough Nick Cage in this film. You're damn right.
In fact, there's none. So
There's not enough. Exactly. There's not enough.
I think there's just enough.
No, I think we needed one. I think we needed at the end of the credit when people were like being lost, like right next to Nick Fury in the car. He should have like popped out with his hair, and been like, "I'll come to save you,"
Oh my god!
and then he starts to disappear with them.
Like they should just do cameos, like they do the Stan Lee cameo every film. They should just do a little Nick Cage cameo. Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is Stan Lee needs to wear a Nick Cage lapel pin. That's what I'm saying.
Big Papa and Matt, what you need to start now is you need to get Nick Cage into the Marvel, streaming out to get Nick Cage in the Marvel universe to get him into Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because we've already got
He's Ghost Rider.
I need him.
He's Ghost Rider.
I need him to revive the DC universe. There's only one hope for the DC universe, and it's more Nick Cage. All right, that's our only chance. It's our only hope for DC. Nick Cage. Heard it here first.
Well, I was not disappointed
You're
at
all speechless. You can't argue. I get it. It's one of those things.
with the interaction.
And as we always state, when you guys come here to watch the show live, you get the show that we've got going on. You get another show in the chat. They are all about Nick Cage in that room right now.
We always are when I'm on the show. What can I say? It's my guy. To celebrate the 1-year anniversary of Nerd Mosh Pit, we have decided to celebrate our 1 year with the amazing works of a phenomenal actor. And at this time, I want everybody to be aware of how wonderful someone is to our heart. And we want to show all the different ways of how this person's amazing. This guy is so good in all of his movies. One of his favorites actually is with, he's great with children more than anything. And we want to show some of these clips of how great of an actor we have here. So just bear with us here, and we're going to let you guys see how amazing some of his works are.
Oh.
Yeah! Yes! Yes! That was right.
Put him back in the box. Put him back in the box.
You a freak, man. Oh my god.
Jack is threatening to
Put
stop
the bunny back in the box.
Put the bunny back in the
In the box.
He's here to look after the children, Jack. You can't just give this away. He's only here for the kids.
Come on.
Look at this guy.
Nick loves
I know.
kids.
Oh yes!
He's even really good at singing nursery rhymes. If you haven't heard his nursery rhymes, wait till you hear his nursery rhymes.
Oh yeah! You put your right foot in, you take your right foot out, you do the hook, you hold in, you work it all out.
Woo! You just get
And Cage, Nick Cage drops the 5th one.
and we got another mute for everybody there for you.
Go.
But once again, his love for children has never ceased to stop at just
Yes!
nursery rhymes. He even loves to show them how great they are with a little special touch.
Chest.
I can push the chest.
You're gonna be fine, baby doll.
I mean, what can you say? He's great with children. I mean, he's just phenomenal with the kids. He's singing nursery rhymes. He's making sure their toys are safe, and he makes sure that their bulletproof equipment work amazing. He just can't be stopped. He just can't be stopped. And what I mean by that is not only is he great with children,
right now.
but he's great with every single face he's ever put on.
Where's the face off?
I'd like to take his face. Oh.
I mean, this guy, he just doesn't quit. How amazing this man is. There's no end to his glory and greatness. And because I know how much you all love him so much, and for some reason, it's just an opposing opinion for some reason of what's going on out here. I don't know why.
Why did I
So
agree
many
to this?
people hate Nick Cage out there. I'm going to give you all a little thing that you wanted to do so much to this man, but only Tex Cobb was able to do it. The tooth spit! Oh, so good. Raising Arizona, one of the greats of all time.
Yeah, I love that
You
movie.
made my day. My day kind of sucked. It's fine now.
So I just wanted to make sure everybody knew why this is so good and why everybody needs to love more Nick Cage.
The
out there.
greatest.
He is the greatest. He is
Greatest.
the greatest of all time. And now you all know. Now you've all seen some of the many wonderful clips of Nick Cage. And here at Nerd Mosh Pit, we want to honor the great Nick Cage because he has so many wonderful. I mean, he's the thespian of our times. And all hail the one and only Nick Cage.
You're here.
Yeah,
He has an Oscar.
Dilly dilly.
Dilly dilly.
According to Sonamaku, Bethesda is the Nick Cage of developers. They always
Oh,
told.
damn.
Hey,
Nick Cage is
you know
on
what,
there.
Sonamaku, you had your Nick Cage spotlight last week to put Nick Cage up all over the screen. You can keep that thing toned down now.
So you're saying that Fallout 76 is going to be the equivalent of Wicker Man?
Oh,
Ugh.
oh,
Face off.
yeah, it's got to be a better Nick. You can't go Wicker Man.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what?
His always delivers. So
Welcome to Malice Cast, where we talk about the loves of Nick Cage and the terrors of John
Nick Cage.
Travolta. Of John Travolta. And welcome SYL Barefoot at the end of the cast, saying that we need more Nick Cage on the show ASAP.
It wouldn't be a Malice cast if Nick Cage's name wasn't.
And we're doing Ghostbusters talk tonight so that we can try to avoid Nick Cage. Oh, wait, too late. We already did.
Uh-oh.
You know what would have made the all-female cast Ghostbusters better?
More Nick Cage.
Nick Cage.
Yeah.
I admit. I admit it would have made it better.
He makes everything better. He's like adding salt into a dish. It makes it better, no matter what it is.
Just drop a little seasoning, some little Nick Cage seasoning, maybe.
He's the bacon to your eggs.
Little expired meme action there.
So,
but let me ask you this: as an appeasement to Son of Maku in the chat room, whenever he's in there, how could Nick Cage have made this better?
I don't even think Nick
He
Cage
would have translated the Wookiee.
He would have been one of the Wookiees.
Yeah.
Rather than Chewie's father, Itchy is his name, by the way, who had permanent bitter beer face from those old commercials. It would have just been Nick Cage in a Wookiee suit, but with his own face cut out, doing the final monologue from Wicker Man.
That would be funny.
Beacon says the way that Nick Cage would have made it better is there's no way he could have made it worse.
I agree.
And then he says,
but real quick, going back to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse real quick, you know who the main bad guy is going to be?
Oh,
Nicolas Cage.
Nice. Perfect.
As Spider-Man Noir.
That's
Or maybe
fantastic.
not even
That's okay. That's the end all be all right there.
We know who's going to go see that.
Yep. Big Papa Matt will be in the theater for the first 3 showings on the Friday it comes out.
He's going to be dressing up as Spider-Man.
We did see Nicolas Cage's character, Spider-Man Noir.
They gave him oh my god, that's the most popular.
Hey, don't start.
As you know, this is Malice Cast, and Malice Cast, there's always a mention of a name. And if you're going to talk about, this is the one time that we will get people to actually agree that he is amazing in terms of against these two.
Are we going to bring up
Sam
Nicolas
Worthington
Cage?
versus Hayden Christensen and Nicolas Cage. Who's best of the 3? Come on. You're going to give it to Nick.
I'll take D. Option D, please.
Because I just watched Wicker Man this week.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. How did you like it?
It was ridiculous. It was an hour and a half of nothing happening, and I didn't even get to see him scream about the bees. I don't know if my version had that cut out or what. Is he supposed to have like a bee mask on?
I just want to know your guys' thoughts. If there's a property that you would like to see Kevin Smith take the reins of to bring to a cinematic world that's not his own.
It was going to come back around to Nick Cage then anyway, because didn't he originally work on the Superman script that Nick Cage was supposed to star in?
Writing the script treatment. And Jack Malice gives the introduction for this week's mention in the cast. He says Tom Cruise, the only actor worse than Nick Cage.
but Thomas had some
Hard disagree.
I hard disagree on that too. Mrs. Malice says that she'd rather watch a Nick Cage movie than a Tom Cruise movie.
a movie.
So Maku heard us say Nick Cage and all of a sudden popped into the chat room.
He's like, what are you saying about my
Hayden
boy?
Christensen, thank you, Red Me Pod. There is an actor that is worse than both Tom Cruise and Nick Cage. Hayden
I
Christensen.
don't think Nick
can
Cage
take-
is that bad. I actually like Nick Cage.
I think it's just the movies that Nick Cage was in that were bad were just that bad.
They were. He's an Oscar-winning actor, but he's also been in things like The Wicker Man.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He actually has an Oscar. Tom Cruise doesn't, though.
Like, I love the movie Raising Arizona.
Yes. Yeah, and that's the thing. That's what I will give is I think Nick Cage's comedies surpass Tom Cruise's comedies because there's not a comedy where it's like outside of the one where he comes sliding in at that moment. That's
Risky Business.
Risky Business. That's the only like big comedy.
Not even really
Tom
a
Cruise,
comedy,
and it's
though.
not.
Good comment from Mrs. Malice as far as good movies from Nick Cage. Kick Ass was awesome.
Oh,
Great
yes.
as Big Daddy.
Yes.
Yes, it was. That's why I
Good
asked
call.
Red Meat Pie because she said Nick Cage needs to stop picking his own movies to do. And I said, well, did he pick Kick-Ass? Because that was a great movie.
I think he picks all of his movies. That's why he's in so many. Because he's just
Yeah.
like, you got a script for me? Cool. Let's go.
Bangkok Dangerous? Sounds wonderful. Let's do it.
I was waiting to see how somebody would drop this for this week's cast and figure it out. Icy Zora was the one that looked at it and he said, Raising Arizona 30 years later. That's how we get our Nick Cage doing
Absolutely.
his old role.
His second Oscar.
I've engineered you all to just think of Nick Cage anytime the show is on. Friday night with Nick Cage, everybody.
Nick Cage
So
has
yeah,
Swamp
how do we
Thing
do that? We
coming to a
put
theater.
Arizona as
Nick Cage in the cage.
Swamp Thing.
We put the child is now in his midlife crisis.
All 8 of them.
Oh, and then you bring back Holly Hunter and Nick Cage.
It's in. Absolutely, Sir Talmore. We absolutely want more Nick Cage. Sir
What
Talmore
was he
said
saying?
that Nick Cage. Sir Talmore said that Nick Cage was great in Teen Titans Go. By the way, so let's go and watch Teen Titans Go.
Yeah, and our friend Masonic Vader said Teen Titans Go was great as well. So, and he's our Superman fan.
Every
so.
movie Nick Cage gets put in, that much better. That much better every time.
All right,
except for the Wicker Man.
Imagine if he wasn't in Wicker Man. How bad that would be.
Yeah, that probably would have been pretty awful.
That would just make no sense. Instead of be strange.
Imagine he wasn't.
It would have been even more awful if they had.
We like to call this opening your mind.
B-class
Right
actor.
there. Open it up. Reddit.
He's also
son of
the
Mocker.
president of the Nick Cage fan club.
And we're moving on from that.
Nick Cage as Nick Fury? No.
He wants to see Nick Cage as anything.
He makes every movie he's in that much better.
Super says, would Nick Cage make a better Bella in Twilight?
Yes.
Yeah, anybody.
Yeah.
I think my dog would make a better Bella. I don't even have a dog.
No, we need to have Nick Cage acting alongside your dog. Your dog can be Edward.
Sir Talmer says The Rock. The Rock is the answer to everything. We need a Nick Cage Rock movie.
Oh yeah, so let's throw this out here. Are we ready? Because we'll get the we'll just get the plug in and get it out of the way. Brendan Fraser's acting career.
Oh, don't do it.
Versus Nicolas Cage.
Of course, that one's good.
I feel like Brendan Fraser is more selective in his roles.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I think Brendan Fraser wins just because he got to make out with Elizabeth Hurley and Nick Cage never did.
No, I can't give. No matter how much we bash on Nicolas Cage, at times I can't give Brendan Fraser as a better actor over Nicolas Cage.
I didn't say he
Cage
wins
legitimately
because
has an
he was a
Oscar.
better actor. I said he wins because he got to make out with Elizabeth Hurley.
That's fair.
Okay.
I concur. That's actually that's up there a little bit. Yeah.
But didn't Nick Cage get to make out with Elizabeth Shue?
I don't
Yeah.
know. Ask
Did they make out when he won the Oscar? I don't remember. I know she's in the movie.
I don't know. I never actually saw that movie.
I saw it. I actually made a focus to go see it because I wanted to. There was so much talk about how great his acting was, and it was his acting was phenomenal. And I always get them mixed up because they have the same name. Leaving Las Vegas, or is that the one where he's the Elvis impersonator's Leaving Las Vegas? I don't get because
That's 3,000. No.
That's 3,000 Miles to Graceland.
Yeah,
No, that's
Fantastic
the other Elvis impersonator movie. There's one where he's
Con Air?
Honeymoon in Vegas.
Con Air.
No,
You know, that's I was actually married by the same priest that was in what was it? The one with the flying Elvises with the wedding and I don't remember.
Nick was married. Now we're getting conversations of Nick was married to Elvis's daughter.
Let's look at what are some of the movies that Brendan Fraser has starred in. He's generally just a big dumb moron in the movies.
Yes, he is.
You know, in Blast from the Past, he's a kid who thinks he's living in the 50s. In Encino Man, he's literally a caveman. Like in Bedazzled, when they make him a basketball player, he's like a Neanderthal. The guy plays characters that are just like, what?
Well, I mean, in Mummy, he was a highly intelligent guy in the Mummy. Yeah.
It was his version of him trying to be Indiana Jones.
I was gonna say more like his National Treasure.
Which I'll give that one to Nick Cage on that one.
Recon says The Rock for any role, period. And Jack brings up that we all know that Nick Cage for any role for Son of Maku. So there's the Nick Cage drop for
Nick Cage.
Said Harrison for himself.
What we're gonna end up starting to do with this cast is every time once we say Nick Cage, we're gonna do like the old Pee Wee's Playhouse when the word of the day gets said. I'm gonna have Nick Cage's face back and forth.
Oh man!
We're telling you, cast John Hamm as Batman, and if you're not gonna cast John Hamm, then you know that you just go out and cast Nick Cage because he can play everything.
He does.
So. Yeah.
He's gonna give it his all. Is what's gonna happen though. He's gonna put it all on the screen every single time.
So, yeah. So
we're already getting groans for the Nick Cage drop. So too early in the show for the groans.
Nick Cage.
Drop
the bunny.
Nick Cage is already voicing Superman. You might as well just throw him back in the suit.
He's already. Yeah. He apparently he was the best Superman ever for Teen Titans Go.
Absolutely.
Movies. Still haven't watched it yet. I don't know if it's because nope. Let's cast Nick Cage as they need a Batman movie of Nick Cage playing everybody. You can play Superman.
Like I hope Matt is.
Batman.
I really hope Matt's not serious about Nick Cage actually playing Batman. Like doing voiceover as one thing.
No, I said Batman. No. But I do want to see a Nick Cage play everybody like a Nutty Professor style thing. I just, the epic weirdness that would be. Going off on a weird little tangent there.
That's been your Nick Cage minute right here on Malicecast.
Everyone, yes. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
The Rock, Nick Cage in a suit is what I just saw in that, and I think The Rock should play Nick Cage in the next film. Yes, you're right. As well, Barefoot.
And this just in, Nick Cage is actually going to be playing the Swamp Thing.
Perfect. He'll be in a suit. No one will ever know.
I'm the one that always pronounces names wrong.
Yes.
Like Nick Cage.
Cage.
Yeah, you're talking DC now. Come on now. Joaquin Phoenix can't save everything.
Hey,
there it is.
But Nick Cage can. No.
We're so close. So close.
Hey, now,
Michael Bay, I was waiting for it. No, this needs HBO style money. Especially after the massive success that Game of Thrones has had.
Yep.
And the production quality, the quality of the writing. If they don't do it as well as Game of Thrones, it's going to be seen as a failure.
Well, you know what they're going to need? They're going to need The Rock.
As long as you don't say Nicolas Cage, please, God.
Oh, we got it out of the way. Nick Cage reference.
Who could Nicolas Cage play in the series?
They should.
Somebody that dies quickly.
He said we said and it's summoned the Big Papa Matt in the chat room.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know, right? Right then.
We know what should boot up every time is just flashing pictures of Nick Cage as soon as you turn on something.
I don't know how it happens. I don't even bring him up, but he always comes into the show.
Of course he's gonna come. He's become part of this. He's become part of this.
It's great. It's a great name.
He's a big fan of the show. He likes to watch the reruns, man. It's his favorite activity on Sunday mornings. He tweets at us.
Well, okay, hodgepodge. Then what? If it's Sunday mornings, what?
Indiana Jane said we made it 35 minutes.
What cereal does Nick Cage eat while he's watching our podcast on Sunday mornings?
What
cereal does Nick Cage eat while he's watching our podcast on Sunday mornings?
Something tells me he is a big fan of Fruity Pebbles.
I was thinking Cocoa Pebbles, but
Cocoa Pebbles. He might mix it up. You know
Cocoa
what?
Pebbles, Cuckoo Puffs. He might be cuckoo for Cuckoo Puffs.
Fried in Super O's. I like that. I like that.
Oh God, this is off the rails.
What are these those terrible I don't know, they're not terrible, I guess they're okay, but they're like the super they're like O's, they're like it's that's what they look like. They're just like rectangles.
O's.
And they're super heavy fiber. I imagine Cage would have something heavy in fiber to help himself out.
Are you talking about the cereal? It's just called O's.
Is it? I don't know. I'd have to look it up. Yeah.
Honey O's?
No, the cereal.
No. It's like a rectangle. It's like a brick. Move on. Move past that. It was, yeah.
I hate your
it's going to drive me crazy. I'm going to be looking at it later on. You guys will all see a tweet later on what kind of cereal I was talking about.
Red Meatpaw says that's a donut.
That's a donut. Yeah, no, for sure. I don't usually throw them in my cereal bowl, but yeah, for sure.
So we now know that the Big Papa Matt just throws a donut in his cereal bowl with some milk.
It's almond milk. I'm lactose intolerant. It's almond milk. All right, so
Nice. Oh, Red Meat Paw says it's Legos. He eats Legos for breakfast.
He is a badass like that.
Yeah,
he probably does. Just
we're
chew on
not
Legos.
we're not putting Nick Cage on the same level of Chuck Norris of like. We're not making the Chuck Norris isms towards Nick Cage, although that might be fun. That's something we might have to do someday. Just replace.
If we had to pit two people together, I think it would be more fun to take the two from the time and have Chuck Norris versus Bruce Campbell, because you had the Chuck Norris show, and then you had God, what was Bruce Campbell's TV show?
Which one, Briscoe County or
Bruce County? Bruce. The Briscoe County Jr. Great show.
I totally misheard the way that you were saying that, because you were like, man, there's the people from the time, and I was like, Morse Day in the Time and Nick Cage? Oh my God, that would be a match made in heaven.
Yeah. That would be good.
I'm in.
That would be
good. Getting Nick Cage up there doing the OEO with Morse Day. And you throw Kevin Smith and
only if Jay and Silent Bob show up.
exactly.
Oh, and here it is, Cracklin' Oat Bran. Google it. So y'all know what I'm talking about. It's the cereal. It's the crunchiest, gnarliest, fiber-rich cereal. And Nick Cage is eating Cracklin' Oat Bran. Sorry to bring us off track. Back to the
That's
show.
hilarious.
Okay.
Back to the show.
And apparently we missed the Nick Cage talk. And Nick Cage is not part of the top 15 scariest characters of all time, although he should be. Just him by himself.
You bastard! I was trying to break the streak, and you brought him up.
But it's the perfect time to bring him up, because really, I mean, you're talking the 15 scariest characters of all time on screen. Nick Cage falls into that. Follow me on Twitter.
Recommendations. I don't like horror movies. Give me recommendations so I can be scared all night.
They'll give you something. It doesn't have to be just horror films. Just favorite Halloween movies. And if
the
you
most
guys...
recent Nick Cage movie.
Oh God.
That's a horror movie all of itself.
It's the last cast of this season, and it is our season finale. So I'm going to put it out there, and I think Jack would even say that any Nicolas Cage movie was definitely better than Superman versus Batman. He'd appreciate Nicolas Cage more. So,
Man, we had like a
clean sweep on the year.
No,
Nicolas Cage.
We had like a 3 or 4 week streak with no Nick Cage. It was fantastic. You
Oh,
ruined
he was
it.
in the chat room every week.
I must not have been on the cast.
It's like the last 3 casts. There was no Cage. It was great.
I'm re-listening to him.
There was totally a Cage one just last week at the last minute. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh,
At the buzzer.
the Cage has been embedded into the show. It is a part of the show. It is all things Cage. The Big Papa Matt started something and we never let it go.
If you're out there listening, we need to get on here. Come on now, let's go.
What do you mean if he's listening? He's a huge fan of the show. He's number 16 on our stream list.
He doesn't have anything better to do. He's already done his 37th movie of the year. So now he's listening to this.
He loves the show. Big fan. Tweets at us all the time.
You guys made fun of him and he just left. Now we're down to 15 viewers.
Scared him away. The bees. Jack's over here talking about bees and it scared him off, man.
You're at least fans at least of one of his movies that he's put out, like Raising Arizona, Con Air, or The Rock. You got to be a fan at least of one.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, his last 2 flicks have been phenomenal. Mandy and Mom and Dad have been absolutely fantastic.
Mom and Dad is pretty good.
I haven't even heard of either one of those.
Mandy was stellar, and so was Mom and Dad.
Their new film.
Check it out.